Hey everybody, this is more Damage Soul, back for some more fun. We're going back in for the story of Final Fantasy 16. As you guys know, I always pause right wherever I leave off. I stop. I don't go any further because it ruins the experience for everyone if people don't know what's going on. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Y'all having a lovely day? Trying to get down there and go through all that was going to be more of a headache. We just cut right through here.
Everything's back the way it was. Yeah! Those ne'er-do-wells.
Yep, straight up. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Y'all having a lovely
That
day?
must be the
I
camp
hope.
Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
Hope y'all chilling.
That's him! The one who killed Locke! Fingers! Take his head off!
And that was fairly easy.
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you? I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but... that's not why you're here, is it?
No. Something's happened. We need you back in Dalimil.
What is it?
The whole town's in uproar. They're saying that Lubor is a bearer.
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Dalimil. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years. which is what people are saying. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who was made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
You're right.
That's not many.
I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running, but we just couldn't anymore.
There's
Oh,
nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something, and quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
that's
All
hard.
right. We should speak to everyone.
I'm glad you agree. I'll handle the townsfolk. I'm a Dalmek born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however,
Oh,
is a
Austin, thank you
trusted
very much
and
for the live.
impartial
Thank you
mediator of note.
for liking it.
I'll do what I
Appreciate
can.
it, Austin. Austin is Livy, if I read that right.
Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
And that is all I can ask of you.
Why are you taking the bearer's side, Peter? Are you one too?
The bastard's been. Can you believe we were going to make him mayor?
I think we'd better shut up.
Sounds like something's happening in this. Where?
Throw it in.
I wonder what.
Why do they always have to make such a fuss?
Knew all along that he was playing. Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors
Epi-
that he's a bearer.
Epitin
All true, I'm afraid.
Kak.
He'll never
Thank
be
you for the
mayor
light.
now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of
Welcome,
us when he was
Andy.
laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil. And they will thank you not to get involved.
Wow.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refuse to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
Try again,
Why
Lubor.
the hell would Victor take the Paris? I assume the situation is...
There's still hope.
But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time.
Right.
They'll come around.
Welcome.
We'll talk some
Marshall
sense into them in the
Tolton,
end, you'll
welcome.
see.
No, you won't.
Artman
And
99.
your efforts would be better
welcome.
spent elsewhere.
But Lubor,
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making.
Angel
But I do not doubt
3850.
that
Welcome.
she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do
Mac,
what I know to
welcome.
be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us.
1033.
We'll be all
Welcome.
alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones, it is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
how could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
I would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this. But it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
Yes, spoiled
You
brat.
sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I
Fruit.
believe it's
Welcome.
the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. A reward for clearing out that bandit camp. Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do. Anything.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.
Lies in the sand. Kyle Martin, welcome.
Can you believe we were going to...
I can't get down there.
Kim Bear?
Sounds like something's happening in the square.
Oh, Kyle Martin. Yeah, what am I playing? I'm sorry. No big deal. I just saw your thing. It just popped up.
Anything I can
But
interest
no,
you in?
I'm playing Final Fantasy 16. Just chilling out. How are you doing, Kyle?
Fare you well.
You're one of the few people that actually talk to me on TikTok, so that's why I was like, I stopped and stared, and I was like, whoa, did someone talking to me? I'm sorry about that if you didn't get it. I hope you're still here. Nobrodrick, Shazvino. I'm sorry if I'm terrible with the names. I'm sorry, guys.
Question is, where does Natalie want it?
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and bounce from here. Alright, so where am I going? So, Gilded Peak. Bocklad. Northreach. Go to Bocklad. Alright.
What's happened?
Oh man, here we go again. Hello, Theodore.
Clive, you'll be pleased to know that the negotiation...
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Rand... I still have much, and you couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
What is it this?
Nothing like... I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how... Find out...
All right.
Thanks.
Quick mission, or so they say. Oh, she's right there.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is their fault, not yours. I know, but...
Septon...
No buts about it, all right?
Kanak? She? I think that's...
Is something wrong?
Kind of. Zach, welcome.
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
Jaheven, welcome.
You had no opportunity to make a counteroffer.
None at all. And we were so...
El, I saw Vonnie leaving. She
Iron
looked
King
happy.
11J.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist was speaking to about... How did the Consortium even...
It's not so surprising. This isn't over. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone?
Are you offering? How kind. Meet me at the... You go to Cap. Even if I fail, someone needs to...
Oh, and that's... Oh. It looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from...
Taban,
the Silver
welcome.
Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. She means to...
You have to trust her.
You're right. And if Els... So I bid you, I'll gather my men. You go to...
I'll do my... All right. To Randalar, then. Better not keep Eloise waiting.
Yep. Infochan, welcome.
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
When are they gonna let us through?
Darkoff FX, welcome.
Come on. Run like the wind.
Joshua Tree, welcome. Sandra Moreno, welcome. If I get your names wrong, I am sorry. I am trying hard to get it right the first time. Iziel Gomez Ortiz.
Back to the stables, girl. Don't get surrounded.
Of course, it's right above me. It's never exactly where you think it is. It's always off a little bit.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the consortium?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
Chud,
I did.
welcome.
It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves. And then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested, and so we resumed our bid.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then.
Alas, you are too late. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across a most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks. That's what you get when you deal with continental.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound... No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be... And with it, my interest in joining...
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I wonder who could have bought them. Well, they're out of harm's way, so...
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible
Brian
purchase
Alive,
when he came to recruit
welcome.
me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. They deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head.
Oh no.
Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just make sure he's safe.
Hold on, Theo.
Mari, welcome. So, down and around.
Fly, Ambrosia.
How you guys doing? You having a good day? Hopefully. Oh, you're never gonna catch me, Paul!
I can walk from here.
No, you can't.
What's the situation?
Welcome, Sapphire.
Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area's flooded with ether.
Oh, come on.
Just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me.
Yeah, smart idea. Let's lead the dragon uphill, both ways, with their shoes on, in the snow. Let's keep going.
Where are you, Theo?
Vigo Os, welcome. Welcome.
Damn it. It's too thick. These creatures have already turned.
Frostbite shatter.
I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy.
Gotcha. Whew.
Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that.
Oh no.
There
Hello,
are
no.
no
There's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Cid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream. Theodore!
With Theodore.
Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Oh no.
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you!
Take care of my sister.
Theodore, wait.
Goodbye, Elle.
Hey, Sinmuna. Sinmuna. Sad.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed.
Old man, welcome.
Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place, against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life. He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
Naya, welcome.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer. In more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds.
Dirk,
just
welcome.
as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made, and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to... I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need, bringing smiles to people's faces, just like we always have, and to Theo's. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own to continue helping you however I can.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
Sam.
Faster!
BN, welcome.
All right. want to go.
But there were ghosts at the gate. It's not days ago, and now you'd have us... Those things I said before about not being able to...
Oh, Clive, my wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders. Second only to his Radiance at the head of the... Not that any of those things still exist.
And what does he want with...
He wants to transform a foundation upon which to build a new He's already secured the support of the various...
He would rob the populace to pay for...
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion.
What does Captain Philippe make of this, when the town was under attack?
How? A man whose stated aim is to revive the Empire, Philippe's The captain can know. But given the move...
Who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal for your service? And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your... Well?
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
Tell me then, in the garrison.
Overseeing the...
All right.
Under new management day.
I may have met this duke before, at the Remembrance ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
As long as you remain, the Veil will see to your need.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics.
Bad
Wait
time
here.
they did.
I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. The citizens' revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
As long as you remain, the Vale will see to your needs.
Embarrassing yourself.
You needn't fret.
User 6361475 583-14936. Oh, that's a mouthful. Welcome.
All right there. What is it?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke of Oriflamme.
Oh, him. Not much. None of us traders do. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. Couldn't have the rabble getting any closer to the holy capital, could they? And now he's trying to drive us out completely, threatening to take everything we got from us if we don't clear off. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
User 412-421-306-18388 something. Japanese or Chinese writing, welcome. I almost said calligraphy, welcome.
Your stall is as ripe as an...
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain Duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
I heard he was the Dreadworm himself.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started.
You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, we'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
I heard the dame got an eye contact with them.
Those things I said before.
Excuse me, do you have a... I wondered if you'd mind sharing your...
Well, he's made a lot of enemies. I mean, look around us. You can... The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, I think the Duke's got a point when he says And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's...
Dot, welcome.
You're the one who was talking to... On the dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but what do you think of his plan?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me, well, listen, I've got nothing but respect for the dame, but I've got a family to... That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire. But if the Duke can get us cement and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care.
Wow.
I left every... As long as you remember... The veil will see to your needs.
You are embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing yourself.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this. Captain.
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of... Do you intend to go along with his plan?
To tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I...
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right.
Devin, welcome.
Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to... Protecting the people I love is what matters. Well, gee, thanks again.
PK, welcome.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive, were you able to speak?
I was.
So Northreach is to be a fortress. Oh, well. It will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods they deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions.
User 501
Perhaps to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope. And one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at
Nico Salvis.
Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Sasovic. Ivan _ 37.2, welcome.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause.
228,
I, for my
welcome.
part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then.
Poodle, welcome. Hey, welcome. Hey, Bob. Bob, thank you for the like, man. Appreciate it.
Laurie should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
The world seems to be changing so fast lately I can hardly keep up. But what I do know is that there's more bad news than good. You can tell that.
It's been a pleasure, Doris. Just like old times.
I'll give your offer some thought, my
No,
lady.
I passed. Yeah, you did. Feels
How goes the
bad, man.
investigation?
Sid.
You. I heard you were out here on your own, tracking our slaver. I trust you're being careful.
Of course.
Oh my lord,
It had to be
121
me.
likes.
The
Last time I
bearers from
checked,
the
it was
Dragon's
only
Eyrie
3.
confirmed a long-held suspicion of mine
Lord have
that the
mercy.
slaver we've been tracking is an old acquaintance. She's no fool. If we'd come in force, she would have spotted us straight
Ooh.
away, and then vanished without a trace.
Nazara Rax.
That was her just now, wasn't it?
Raxusos.
So,
Welcome.
was it a fruitful reunion?
I'd say so. She tried to recruit me. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming to an end,
She's abducted bearers from across the region and is looking to smuggle them back into Sambrek. After her brush with those beastmen on the road to Northreach, she hired herself an Imperial escort, which she wants me to join. She's dangerous, Sid, but I think I can stop her.
Then I'm going with you. I'll take care of the escort. You can see the bearers to safety. Where are they?
The Baum Archers, soon to break camp. You go on ahead. I'll follow once I've sent word back to the hideaway.
Oh man. 169, holy crud. AZ3 I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to read that name. It's a bit wild.
Ah, Clive, I was just about to send for you. I'd like you to take something, seeds, for plant. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's as of those poor bearers.
Bob, welcome
They've
back.
lived their whole small wonder they ain't got the foggiest out to provide for themselves.
Yep.
So if you're wondering why you, well, the Wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports of Akashic around the village of late. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it, but I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to share those concerns with anyone, it's you.
All right.
Maris.
Wouldn't ask if I didn't have to.
Chavez.
There. That should be enough to keep me
1630.
Gazal
Welcome.
Greens for a few years at least.
Gizal Greens.
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love them too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all of us. They ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right, and they're just about bearable.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. And if he don't, well, I'll go up there and show him myself.
I'm sure you will.
Another hour, and then I'll shoot over to Smite. There you go. Alright, so where we want to go from here? Backwards.
Time to fight.
Shot the prop.
Good. They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver, I wonder?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming. Ready the bearers. We're leaving.
User 55468.
With all haste, lest any of you lackwits
Dude,
start
that's
talking
nice.
like these feckless
I-
bumpkins. I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as it is. Any more, and I'll be docking your pay.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, but before you go, it appears we have company. Kill him.
Oh, you're cute, honey.
You're welcome to try.
I don't die that easy, honey. No, but that'd be awesome, Bob, if you can start streaming too. Hook yourself up like how I do. Hook it up to all of the things and then just start launching them out.
So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I'm not the swordswoman I used to be. I surrender. Do with me as you wish, Cid the Outlaw.
Cid!
Ah, Doris. I take it you're not here to rescue me from our brooding renegade?
Should be able to. It's really not that hard.
You know, I always wondered where you'd vanished to. But casting your lot with this criminal of all people.
Better fighting for a cause than killing for coin. I'm sorry, Cid. I should have told you sooner. This woman, my former master, once trained bearer children to be weapons in service of the highest bidder. She raised me like a daughter, and I did terrible things to earn her favor.
It wasn't all terrible, surely. We had our fun, too. You were always so eager to learn.
Do you have a
You had
streaming
such
PC,
clever
or are you
hands.
getting new stuff for it?
All my other children took either to the blade or to the books. Always either or. But you proved yourself a master of both. That's why I kept you for my own. How about it, my little dagger? Care to swear that blade to me again?
I never swore my blade to you, nor will I ever. I fight for a higher cause, to liberate the bearers of this world. Farewell, Master. Thank you for making me the weapon I am.
Niwa,
You
welcome.
always were a righteous child. Perhaps that's the reason I loved you so.
We're just gonna let her walk by.
What do you want to do with her?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be. Not anymore. And she no longer has friends in high places. The Dame does, though. Her connections at the Imperial Court will see that justice is done.
All right. If you're certain.
I am. And thank you for everything. Now, I better let these bearers know that they're safe.
Or not.
And I should head back to the hideaway and put Cole's mind at ease.
Oh, that's a pain. Nah, that means I gotta go back all the way back over there to get that.
Welcome back, Cid. Doris's message just arrived.
With any luck, they'll be Oh, and
I'd been hoping as much. She mentioned once, so the slaver she's been arrested, by the way, over in Sambrek. And she won't be getting off lightly. The Empire may have no love for bearers, but it's not gonna be easy for Doris.
I'm sure it wasn't. But don't worry. She'll be all right.
Hope so. Suppose you had quite the past yourself before you came here, or so I understand.
I understand. I'm just
Thanks
curious.
again, Cid. The curse.
Keep up the good work.
We do what we can with what we got 90% of the time, Bob. If you can, awesome. If you can't, it's not a big deal. You know?
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
Ah, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Your benefactors are a generous lot.
I got 90 more. I'll just be in new territory when it comes to setting up. Well, honestly, it's really not that hard. I promise you. It's one of those things. It's that once you get it going, it seems like it's a pain in the ass, but it gets easier and
Come
easier
again.
as you go.
I may have more for you.
Come back.
The stew's awfully thin these days.
I'm not gonna lie, my computer's hardwired, so I don't blame you there. Yeah, being hardwired, it just works easier.
Let's go.
She won't let you have a wire through the house. Well, kind of stuck in an impasse then, buddy.
No holding back. That's all of them. Owain can uncross his toes now.
Well, yeah.
Ah, sis.
You can get good Wi-Fi adapters for fairly cheap too.
Good, thankfully.
DMV big boy, welcome.
Brilliant! Thanks a blimmin' million! I'll fit 'em to the...
Sometime later.
May I the Telemon Furnace! Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks, and I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. The Telemon Furnace was just what we needed to perfect it. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal. Well, if you insist.
That is the spirit. You'll love it, I promise.
Yeah, I love it. I promise.
So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. You earned it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses for it around the hideaway.
Flower, butterfly, heart, welcome.
That's our job, innit? Dreaming up new ways to make life easier around here. Maybe even out there, too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag of yours will be the first of many. You mark my words.
I'll hardly believe...
Inventory maximized. Oh yeah. The 2Ds. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. D's. User, welcome.
Ah, Lord Rossfield, what brings you to
A delivery from...
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed, only without the seeds.
Martha was hoping you might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend these, so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far. Subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do, it's about time we all started to...
Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Time it all. I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
How about no?
Yes, Sir Wade.
Don't you talk back to me.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to defend the village, but...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an enormous if.
What if you could call on reinforcements from Eastpool?
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die fighting for their lives.
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Do they not wish to see Eastpool saved? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians. What help they are able to offer could still prove the difference between victory and defeat.
You're right, my lord. I will... My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
Mousefer, thank you for the like. I appreciate it.
You would send us to the slaughter. To serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place. Eastpool. This
Deadpool.
is your
Eastpool.
village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you?
Maybe.
Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
She's got a frying pan, dude. You listen to the lady with the frying pan.
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword.
Nah, she gets a frying
I never
pan.
dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool! Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
No. We're gonna watch from afar.
Gladly.
Watch them die. It's fine.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rosfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square, the perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and
Lucas
fall
Dean,
upon
welcome.
them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerve. I'd say you have both in abundance, Await. But you'll be needed, please. Leave the...
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade!
Then you know what you must. We work together. Everyone playing their part, each shielding the other that no man might fall. For Azeri.
For Azeri!
We've no time to argue.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right you up.
She's gonna get the frying pan. She's gonna hit somebody with the frying pan. Not the mama! If you get the reference, you get the reference. If not...
The calm before the storm.
Okay.
And here it comes. I will not let this village fall. Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rosfield! Change of plan!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain in Eastpool?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I think the worst is behind us. I could order a detachment or two to fall back and...
No. Let them finish the job. You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go after the Curl. Join me only when Eastpool is won.
If you're sure, my lord. May May the Founder protect you.
Good girl. There it is. With me, Torgal. Slow. Nice try. All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rossfield, the Curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you, my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde.
Good.
I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but all seems quiet for now. I hesitate to say it, but I think it might be over.
I think it might.
We did it. We saved Eastpool. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking you. You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before. We didn't know what it meant to protect it, but now we do. We really do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, and still we doubted you. But there's no doubt in my mind anymore. We're free men now, so we have to start acting like it. We have to fight to protect what's ours, to protect Eastpool. And we shall. We all shall. Together. This is our home. And if anyone or anything tries to take it away, they'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't gonna rebuild itself.
They needed that. That's such a nice win for that town.
They're not slaves anymore.
Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he was still with us today, this is what he would have wanted.
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now too, and I could hardly call myself an East Poolian if I didn't pull my weight.
I think you'll find it's East Pudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud all the same. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course, and I'd be counting on yours too. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right. I will.
Lord Rossfield, do you remember our very first mission together? Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind Marshes?
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
The hero? It's lucky you came by. Not only did my seeds get delivered, but you went and...
I just did what...
And its own. Take it.
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally back and a home to free bear.
Well, it was your idea.
I know. I suppose the rest ain't much different nowadays. You know, bearers living free like that. Reminds me of those as I am.
I take it you didn't always see eye to...
Well, if you really want to know, I started doing what I do long before I... In fact, that's how I met him. Or at least how he... He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful, anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard... Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled, and then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day. That whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing.
Thought I did, to be honest, Bob. It says you're a moderator.
Aye. And if we don't...
Weird. You say that, but we both know. Bob, we both know you very well. And you would so have that laugh, and you would so do something if you could. If I had a game that had like, let's say we played together and we had like 60 kills, you and me both had 30 apiece, and you'd be like, you'd be the editor of that video and go, yeah, and he still got carried.
Doesn't still hurt, does it?
You'd say that at the end or something like that. I know you so well, Bob. You'd be like, it doesn't matter. You still got carried. I was like, you ass. And you just sit there with that smirk on your face because I know you so fucking well, Bob.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
Kevinton I can't get to yet. I think I have to do a storyline in order to
How
get to
may
it.
I help you today, Clive? Is everything we've received and everything promised?
I'm guessing that's the last bit of it. Genji's gloves is huge. Next item.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
Alright, so what's my damage right now? Yeah, it's a $60 more power hit.
How are you feeling, Joshua?
Better than I was.
But not nearly as well as you should be. Your cuts and burns may have healed, but your body still bears the burden of every spell cast.
And what would you have had me do? It was no ordinary foe we faced. It was the Warden of Darkness. Yet still, it was not enough. The king could have ended me at any moment, but instead chose to toy with me like a curl does a mouse.
You underestimate yourself.
Oh, it was crystal clear. Only one man established his dominance that day, and that man was Barnabas. I'm sorry, brother. That was ill-spoken. It's just, I have never felt so powerless.
It
And with
wouldn't
so
be
many
that
looking
bad.
to us for strength.
But it would be something
Perhaps-
along those lines, and you both know it.
Perhaps the prince feels the same.
Honestly, Bob, here's the truth. I don't do my videos. I should be making videos and mods and shit. I just never do it. A, being too busy, or B, just forgetting to do it. I need to just make clips in general, just clips of anything.
Don't move.
The little girl carried this man and his weapon all the way to her place.
Here,
It's fresh from the well. Grandmother told me spirits sometimes get lost, and that the lanterns guide them to their proper place. I set one on the river for her when she passed away.
Olivia, welcome.
The fiend works from the shadows. Was it you who guided my hand then, Ultima? No, not you. This is my doing, my fault, my sin to bear. And for it, I must atone.
Your hurts are healing nicely. It was my poultices that saw you well.
You make them.
And sell them, or try to. Earns me enough for bread, most days.
Forgive me. I have nothing to...
I know, but I couldn't just leave you lying there. You're going then?
Of course. I'm healed. Thanks to you and your poultices.
Will you promise to come back and visit?
Aww. Help the little girl.
Well, Phoenix, it would seem that I owe you my wings.
Perhaps he can find an answer. You will be returning to Waloed soon, I gather.
I see no reason to wait.
Then neither do I.
I can think of a few, but I doubt they'll stop you. You will take your medicine.
Of course, Lady Daya.
Set on leaving already, are ya?
How long will it take us to get back to Ash?
Dunno, about the same amount of time it took us to get here. Maybe less, if your uncle can find someone trustworthy to patch up the Enterprise. All depends on where we're putting into port, mind.
Yes. It's not as if we can put ashore wherever we choose. We have to assume that the whole of Ash is hostile, and that we'll be attacked on sight.
Then we must find a place they won't think to look. And I have an idea who might know of one.
The Professor! I'll go and tell you coming!
While you're plotting our course, I'll be in the shelves with your lawsman. I wish to pick his brains about Ultima.
Then I'll talk to Karen about supplies for the journey. They may not be easy to come by in Ash.
Your brother's body won't take much more of this recklessness. You know that, don't you?
I do.
covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still
Come
walk.
back.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of pepper.
Stew's awfully thin these days.
The sound of ringing still. So we will. Who knows? So, will it be? Should last you a good while. That it? Fine.
The stew's awfully thin these days.
How do you split the sea?
I still say it were a compliment.
Say it all you like. Ah, Clive, please tell me you've come to take our young prodigy here off my hand.
I'm not here for Mid. I need information on Ash.
Then why not ask Molly if you can look in one of her ovens?
As soon as the Enterprise is ready, we'll be setting out for Drake's Spine. And we're going to need a safe place to land.
Preferably one that won't see my ship blown to shit.
If it were that easy, do you think Waloed would have resisted invasion? For very little is known of Ash. And the information we do have is spotty and outdated. We have the good King Barnabas to thank for that. Waloed's borders have been closed to outsiders
Look,
since the
Christine,
day
welcome
he
back.
seized the throne. If there is anywhere safe to land, you won't find it on my map.
Then tell us what we will find. I'm sure you know better than...
But no Splinter.
All right. If it will get you out of my head. But interrupt me, and it's over. Barnabas Tham, the one they call the Last King. Understand him, and you will understand the kingdom of Waloed. Barnabas was only a boy when he arrived from beyond the southern seas, and barely a man before he united the ragged tribes of Ash. And having unleashed them upon the formidable Veldamark, he set his throne upon the ancient kingdom's ruins. The victory sent shockwaves around Valisthea. Tales of Odin's might spreading through every court, parlor, and drinking hole in the realm. Note that this was in the year 843, and that the king still sits upon his throne some 40 years later, quite untouched by time. Waloed's recent inaction left many wondering if Odin had lost his appetite for war. And yet here we are.
The Einherjar was committed to the fray, a bold declaration of intent. Orcs swarm around Drake's Fang, and throngs of Akashic haunt Canvas streets. Though how precisely the havoc they wreak serves Waloed remains unclear. Regardless, if the order to attack truly came from King Barnabas, then one thing is certain. Waloed has achieved the impossible, and made bedfellows of beastmen and the ether-addled alike. All of which is a roundabout way of saying that you will be in unknown territory when you set foot on Ash. Much of the continent has already been lost to the Blight, and what few ports remain will be fiercely guarded. And that is to say naught of its natural defenses. Offshore currents will cast an ill-equipped ship out to sea one moment, and dash it against the rocks the next. But then the Enterprise is anything but ill-equipped. And Mid has made land there before. Now, if only there were someone with an intimate knowledge of the Shadow Coast, and where a daring gentleman might put ashore. You see, Clive, you had the answer all along.
Yep.
Do you think you can get us back to that beach, Mid?
Picked you up from it, didn't I? Not that it were easy. The currents were a right bastard. But then, if it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be worth doing, would it?
Well said. Thank you, Lady Vivian.
If a few morsels of common knowledge and a sprinkling of tavern talk are worthy of your thanks, I wonder what genuine intelligence might earn me.
Probably more visits. Mid, I need everyone in the ale hall now. I'll fetch Joshua from the shelves.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Almost out here.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
So if I go down that way, that's actually the story thing that I didn't do last time.
Ready, go? Mistakes.
Oh, you bitch.
Let's go.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Ring of Demolishes. Oh.
Oh no. You'll pay for this. There may still be survivors.
Jimmy Care, welcome.
Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield. We are archaeologians, tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attention. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy.
You call that? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origin, a duty of the highest.
And you think your dead brother?
I know they would. They gave their lives now. To what do we owe the honor?
Cyril told me of your work here.
I see. That is most kind. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another. But for a survey... I suppose I'd better get this back to Cyril.
Ah, you are returned, my lord.
I collected your colleague here.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid you in your...
Cyril, your losses which could have been avoided, were these your order?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty.
Even when death is of...
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations. We live to serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answered. Allow me to offer you a word. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to. Please.
I thank you for you. If you will permit me to respond, our faith in his grace, Josh, and we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our as first shield to the Phoenix. I am sure.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind.
There's always one more at the end, right when you think you're done. There's always that surprise, like, hi.
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
Please, Your Grace.
Stay strong. Ah, my Lord Marquis.
Alright.
Yote, is anything the matter? You seem troubled.
My lord. Yes. It's your brother. As though he does his best to hide it. The lesion on his chest pains him more with...
I had feared as much.
There are certain elixirs which can ease the suffering of those afflicted by the... But His Grace's case is severe. The drafts I have been able to prepare for him thus far have ceased, so I consulted with Talia and certain of my comrades among the... And thankfully, a recipe was found, and our supplies are... Unless we can secure more soon... My lord, I know that I have...
For Joshua. So...
A rare herb by the name of stonerwort. It grows only where the ether is densest. The vigor it stores in its stems helps to counteract... We discovered a patch near the aqueduct and the search continues for an...
So it's only that you can't reach it. The stonerwort itself is unharmed.
Well...
Then I shall go in your... You've yet besides.
Well, if you're sure, my stonerwort is easily identified by its blood-red blooms. I shall remain here.
Phoenix, heal thyself. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a drink. My throat's actually hurting.
The aqueduct. Now to find our stonewort. Yote mentioned blood-red petals. That's my luck. Anything to lay on. Anyone for it. much as I can before reinforcements arrive. Right. That should do it. Let's get these back to Yotei. Yotei.
Yes, my lord. I'm sure it will serve.
I'm very glad to hear.
You and His Grace are very much alike. You think only of how you might help others.
No more than you have minding my brother.
I am honored, but I beg you, my lord, do not give too much of yourself for the sake of others.
I'll keep that in mind.
Alright guys, I think I'm gonna call it here on...
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them. It's a wonder they can still walk.
on TikTok. Guys, I'm gonna call it early on this one, and I'm gonna switch over to go playing Smite 2. So if you guys are okay with that, cool. If not, if you want to stop by later, that's fine. I'm just finishing up this last bit of dialogue, then I'm switching over.
Do you recall when we spoke before on the divinity of Ultima? Well, it inspired, and what I discovered appears to agree with the findings of His Grace.
You will recall that my quest to uncover Ultima's origins began with the mural at Phoenix Gate. But while I've always known it to be important, its secrets have heretofore eluded me. Now, however, I believe I know where to find the more complete example. One that will reveal all we seek.
Master Clive, have you ever... I would think not. Few have. But there was once a time when the faith flourished, the oldest known religion in the Twin. Hints of its dogma remain embedded in more modern faiths such as the Crystalline Orthodox.
What of Ash?
Religious monuments are often torn down or repurposed when new faiths rise to prominence. But if no new faith arose, then perhaps the ancient temples might still stand. And so, you see now why I must accompany you to Waloed.
It would appear the past still has much to teach us, though in this case, it would not have been possible without the musings of Moss. To think that you carried a copy of my old mentor's chronicles all along. I am relieved to discover it in good hands.
I shall guard it with my life.
Joshua, if you're finished here, join me in the ale hall. I need to speak to everyone before we leave.
Right away.
13 PW, welcome, welcome.
Mid said I could ride the Enterprise next. No, she didn't. She said I could.
My apologies.
By now you've all heard where we're going and why. So I won't bother you with the boring details, only the important ones. If we attempt to approach Stone here by sea, there's a good chance we'll be sighted and fall prey to the capital's artillery. So instead, we'll disembark on the southwest coast and make for Drake's Spine on foot.
Last KSC, welcome.
I say we, but it's highly likely the entirety of Ash is under the rule of Ultima. A large party would only attract unwanted attention, as well as slow our march and require supplies which may be difficult to obtain. Only Joshua and I will be going. And a scout. Preferably a good one. Gav, do you know of any?
You bet your ass I do. Might still borrow some of Lady Vivian's maps, though. Just in case, like.
Once you've dropped us off at the Shadow Coast, you need to retreat into neutral waters, fly merchant colors, and stay inconspicuous. If you sense any danger at all, you leave us behind and return to Storm.
Inconspicuous is my middle name. But like hell am I leaving anyone behind. The ship ain't going nowhere till your scurvy mugs are smiling on deck.
Jill, the Enterprise will appear a tempting target for royalists and pirates alike. You're to stop anyone boarding.
Don't worry. I'll keep the ship and her crew safe. You'll be needing passage home, after all.
But... very well.
If there are no questions, I'll see you all at the docks.
Let me know when you're leaving. I want a word before you go.
Of course.
Alright, with that, we're going to leave it right there. I will